Let's go. Get up. It's that club, baby. You hear that? You can't sit down to that. Okay.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy, Shigluch, LOXD Block, Silverback. Hey, yo, right now I need to shout out the ISUPK classes.
I want to give a huge, big, humongous shout out to all the UPK schools.
Shout out to Black Watch, hosted by General Johanna. Word, I need y'all to check out Cross the Line Radio as well, man. They've been open all week from 7 to 9. They ain't shut down because of the corona, the COVID, and all that. They rockin' strong, you know what I mean?
Think we got a problem, but really it ain't though. It's one of me, and these bitches I count about 3, 4. Think we got a problem, but homie just all talk. He ain't gon' pop a balloon with a pitchfork. Nah, think we got a problem in the club with this dog. Rude boys, dogs, ladies, everybody.
I'ma keep it 50 fish.
Shout out ISUPK.
Let's go ahead. His watchmen are blind. His watchmen are what? Blind. His watchmen are what? Blind.
That's what need to be. That's what need to be happening. There need to be more black women loving their husbands.
Religion, if you serve any religion, you're serving another God. The word religlia is the Latin word that means to separate or divide. That's the root word of the word religion. Now, if you serve any religion that's not in the Bible, you're serving another God. There's no religion in the Bible.
It's that nonsense. And that's why he raising up his priests and prophets here in the ISUPK.
Shout out ISUPK. Classes all week, 7, 5, 9 p.m. The brothers dropping that knowledge. Get in class. No excuses. Don't see no motherfucking customer.
Excuse me, I got a question. Somebody give me Romans 13 and 11. I have a question. It's a Ronald car, man. Give me Romans 13 and 11.
Khan. This is the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11. And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
Brother, you need a water? Thank you. Salagia. Shalom. We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command of Johnny Yohana. This is a Thursday or Friday night Hebrew class. I'm Officer 5000, Mataza Pa, be holding down a nice class. All right, so we always start off with brothers and sisters saying their Hebrew. All right, every class, every Friday, we already know how to start off the class. If you out there and you watching the class, you are to say your alphabet. All right, you are to say the Lashawan Qadash. You are to have integrity and do it, right? Nobody's watching you, but of course, you know if you're doing it or not. So we're going to take a second while I put the Lashawan Qadash up on the screen. We're going to take a second so that if you know the Lashawan Qadash, go ahead and recite it to yourself. If you do not know the Lashawan Qadash, go ahead and recite whatever you do know. All right. That's how we're going to do it. All right, the Lashawan Qadash. I got it right here. It's going to be your basic building block. Speaking Hebrew. Like a One second, I got y'all. All right, so if you haven't recited your Lashawan Qadash, go ahead and recite them. If you do not have the Lashawan Qadash or you do not know it, I'm putting it up right now. Salakia. It's Salakia for the messages on the side, man. Look, this is where I found it at. I found it on the Facebook page. But nevertheless, this is the Lashawan Qadash. All right. Hebrew is to be read from right to left. All right. Hebrew is to be read from right to left. Here in America and Western culture, you have been taught everything backwards. So you will do things from left to right. That is not our culture. All right. So Hebrew is to be read from the right to the left. All right. We have the letters up here on the screen. Up at the top, we have of course, Lashawan Qadash means holy tongue, right? Lashawan being tongue, Qadash being holy. And then we'll take it down to this is the first line. The first line of letters here is in ancient. This is the ancient Hebrew or ancient Hebrew characters. You'll hear some people say paleo. All right, this is the ancient Hebrew. And it starts off from right to left. Ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, taza, kwa, ra, sha, da. That is how you want to pronunciate the Lashawan Qadash. All right, now, so if you have this, or if you were in the school, you should have one of these printouts right here. All right, this printout is in every school. Every student is has the privilege to have one of these. If you do not have one of these, go ahead and talk to your camp leader, and any one of he will get you one, or one of the brothers in the school will be able to get you a copy of this, right? And so, like I said, the first line right here is the ancient. Now, the second set of lines right here is called the Assyrian, right? People, you'll hear people say the modern, or you'll hear people say Assyrian. All right. Now, it's the same amount of characters, they just look different. And over time in that captivity, the characters changed, right? So, but we, if at all possible, always try to read the I like to read the ancient, but I can read the modern as well. Because if you're in Israel and you're trying to look up a word, you see a sign up there with some letters up there, and you're trying to look them up, it's not going to have the ancient. So you need to be able to look at the modern characters and distinguish or know what they are. All right, understand what they are. And so they still go from right to left as well. And they correspond with the letters that are in at the top of it, right? So the Assyrian still correlates with the letters over top of it, the ancient. So that first character that you see on the right is still an ah. So that's ah, ba, ga, da, ha again. Wa, za, kata, ya, kalamanasa, I, pa, tazar, kwa, rashata. All right. Now, the thing that you got to remember, or you must know when you're dealing with the modern, is they have it's 5 letters on this second line, right? Or it would be the third from the top, but the second after the actual alphabet. And you'll see these 5 little characters right here. It has an arrow at the beginning of like the line or whatever. And what these characters are, they're called final letters, or final characters, final letters. And so it's the same as, okay, like the first one that you see right there is right next to the arrow. It's a ka, right? That's a ka. So you'll generally see that K right there at the end of like malak, words like that. you need to know that that character right there is the K. Now, it's not the K that you will see at the beginning of a word or in the middle, but it will be the K that you see at the end of the word. All right. And then you got the ma, the na, the pa, and the taza. So those are the 5 letters that have final characters or final letters at the end. All right. So that's basically, so this is the whole breakdown right here. Like I said, if you do not have one of these, then go ahead and get one from your camp leader. Study this, study it, teach it to your kids. I taught it to my kids 2, 3, probably 3, about 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and they still remember. And of course, they're not here in Hebrew class. They off doing what teenagers do. But if I ask them to recite their alphabet, they can do it. All right. All right. So if you just now joining, if you haven't recited your alphabet, go ahead and recite your alphabet while I get the next portion of the class ready. If there's any words, something specific that you may have a question on, if I'm able to answer it, we can go ahead and get it. All right. Let me see. Also, Blue Letter Bible. We use the Blue Letter Bible. At least for the Hebrew, I don't know of any other app. If anybody knows of any other apps or something else that I can use where it's interchangeable, I can look at the King James English and the Hebrew. And let me know. All right. Give me 1 second. I'm still pulling this up. All right. All right. So the word we're about to go into right now is we're going to go into the word law. All right. And so the word law that we're using is H8451, H8451 in the Strongs. Let me show this video because it would make more sense if I show this video. I'm going to pull up a YouTube video real quick. We'll go ahead and watch that. See if I can find this clip. There we go. I believe this is it. So we, like I said, we going into the law, right? And I got a movie. This is the only one I could find, and it's talking about is. I just wanted to at least show you something about the law or whatever, and how the Israelites always the law was always something that kept us in check, right? And the law was always something that it was meant for us to follow because it was part of the agreement that we made with the Most High. And because we continuously break the law is why we continuously find ourselves in the jams that we find ourselves in. And so we'll get the word in a second, but I'm gonna show you. Y'all remember this movie? It's an old movie. I couldn't find anything else, but it's on the Ten Commandments. It's maybe like 2 or 3 minutes. We're gonna get it. I'll talk to you in a second. All right. All right. The video is gonna play after these messages. All right, hold on one second. Let me get it right. I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna bring it back for y'all. Technology.
Woe unto thee, O Israel! You have sinned a great sin in the sight of God. You are not worthy to receive these 10 commandments.
We're gathered against you, Moses. You take too much upon yourself. We will not live by your commandments. We're free.
Hey, there is no freedom without the law.
Whose law, Moses? Yours? Did you carve those tablets to become a prince over us?
Who is on the Lord's side? Let him come to me.
You have hurt us.
People make me do it.
You showed you no land flowing with milk and honey. I show you a God of gold. Come with me. Follow me.
Blasphemers, idolaters, for this you shall drink bitter waters. God has set before you this day his laws of life and good and death and evil. Those who will not live by the law shall die by the law.
Yeah. Salagia. All right, the law. That's what we talking about today. That's the word we're about to get real quick. I'm gonna go back to the Blue Letter Bible. That was funny. So I hope everybody's woke. All right, the law. Let me make sure I got it added to the stream. A lot of steps here. So the scripture I wanted to read was Exodus 12 and 49. All right, Exodus 12 and 49 is the scripture I wanted to read. The scripture says, one law shall be to him that is homeborn, and unto the stranger that sojourneth among you. Right? And so we know that Israelites, strangers can be Israelites as well. And there's one law for brothers that, that's born here. We know what the law is and everything like that. But then for brothers who, come around and sojourn with us, there is that same law for them as well. All right, we all, being Israelites, have one law. There's no law that Judah has that Levi don't have, or the northern tribes don't have, or have, and the southern tribes don't. There is one law, and it shall be to him that is homeborn, and unto the stranger that sojourneth among you. Right. All right, law. H8451. So what we're going to do is we're going to start sending out the link so brothers can jump in and be able to, of course, practice, recite these words, recite their Hebrew and things of that nature, right? So law, H8451 is law, direction, right? Instruction. What's going on? Of direction, instruction, body of prophetic teaching, body of legal directives. So this is what the law is according to Blue Letter Bible. Law of the burnt offering, of special law, codes of law, custom, manner, the Deuteronomic or Mosaic law, right? That's what we was just watching. Moses getting the two tablets with the 10 commandments, and you remember Charles Heston, whatever that was. And when he had the tablets, when he said he yelled out something, but he threw it and it hit the golden calf, and the golden calf blew up. That was crazy. All right, it says "ta wa ra." "Ta wa ra." This is what I'm looking at right here. "Ta," the wa, and the ra and the ha is connected, so it's "ta wa ra" is the word for Hebrew. Torah in the English. What is that Decalogue? I've seen that before. Right. It says you got a Kelowna? Some new cologne? Direction, instruction, law, possibly in the first instance from casting lots. Right? That's the law. check the chat. All right, Nahaya, what's going on? Shasha Magan Alawap Kabal Ahmad. Shalom, sir. Kana in the building. All right, here we go. All right, the next word we're gonna get. Let me get over here real quick. What they call it? What they call it? The cologne. Bougeroni. That's one. All right, what we about to get? All right, milk. Right, it's important that, like I always say, it's important that brothers and sisters, you know, you got to get milk when you first come into these classes. Reciting your Lashawan Qadash is the milk. Taking it serious. We're, you know, reciting it when not just because it's Friday and it's 7 o'clock and we here and we telling you to do it, but when, you know, you Monday through Friday when you're home, you're at work, whatever. All right, let me see what scripture. Hold on. All right, the scripture that we're going to go to is Isaiah 28:9. The vocabulary word that we're going to learn next is milk. Right, is milk. All right, the scripture says, Isaiah, the book of Isaiah, chapter 28 and verse 9, it says, whom shall he teach knowledge? Right, so Isaiah's asking a question. He's asking, whom shall he teach knowledge, right? Who is going to get this knowledge from a specific person or from somebody, right? And it says, whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Doctrine is what is taught, like, okay, what we're taught, what Israelite doctrine is that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the biblical Israelites. And that now that we know that we're the Israelites, we have law, statutes, and commandments that we must follow. And if we don't follow these law, statutes, and commandments, then we will be punished for that. All right. And because we don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments, that's the reason why we're in the conditions that we're in today. All right. So that's doctrine. Whom shall he make to understand doctrine? So there's somebody who needs to be taught something, and they need to be able to understand something, right? Taught knowledge and understand doctrine. But the only way that you can be taught knowledge and understand doctrine if you are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast, right? Babies do not come out eating hamburgers. Babies do not come out eating T-bone steaks or anything like that, right? Why? Because babies don't have teeth. Babies need basic essentials. The basic essentials is milk from a mother's breast, right? That's all a baby needs for the first few months of his or her life, right? And so after a certain point in time, then you have to be weaned off of the breast, right? You have to be weaned off the milk so that now you can start to eat meat. So now you can start to eat other solid foods, right? It's a metaphor for knowledge, right? There is knowledge when you come into the truth. There is a part of the doctrine or a part of knowledge that is being taught to you that you're only able to handle at the capacity when you first come in here, at the capacity that you are in when you first come in, you're only able to handle milk, right? You are a baby. So when you first come into the truth, you are a baby, and then you grow, right? You continue to come to class. You sit in these chairs, you got your paper and your pens, and you listening to the teachers, and you writing down your precepts, and you doing everything you're supposed to do. That growth is start to show, right? The scripture says, study to show thyself approved. That growth is going to start to show. We'll be able to tell that this brother is studying from the way that you talk, right? The way that you talk, the way that you answer questions, just we'll all be able to see it. And then that's when you start to wean yourself off the milk. And then now you can become an officer, Lord allow, someone that can now teach in the school and do things of that, right? Now you're able to digest the meat and disseminate it. All right. So the scripture, like I said, Isaiah 28:9 says, whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? The answer is them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. All right. All right, that sentence in Hebrew is like I said, Isaiah 28:9. Let me see. It says Ath Maya Yawara Da'ai Wa'ath Maya Yabayan Shamawai Gamawa Laya Makalab Aithaya Kwaya Masha Dayam. All right. And that should be right here. So milk, right? It says milk, sour milk, cheese, milk, abundance of the land, right? Because remember, it was used as a metaphor as well when the Lord said he was going to send us into the land of milk and honey. And that Hebrew word is, you can find it in Strong's H2461. And that word is halab. I think I said it wrong before. I either said halab or kalab. Is halab. All right. Halab is milk. Wait a minute. No, I didn't say it wrong. I was right. Kalab. It's from the same as H2459 milk, as the richness of kind, cheese, milk, sucking. They even put the Arabic in here. I don't even know why we need that. It was useless. But when you go into the Blue Letter Bible, you're able to look these words up the same way we look them up, right? And if you're an officer in the school, it's going to be imperative that you get used to doing these kind of things, especially if you're going to be trying to debate or anything like that, right? Because you want to make sure that you understand words. You don't want to just do understand the basic knowledge and then go and trying to debate somebody, because you could get yourself cut, right? And we don't get cut in here, right? So you want to be able to look up words, understand words, do more than what the next man is willing to do, right? Most people, as soon as they learn a little something, jump on the internet and get yourself chopped up, right? Be better than that. All right, look up these words. Go into the Blue Letter Bible. Look up these words. Anytime, and it should be second nature anyway to look up words. If you read in the Bible and you come to a word that you do not understand, you are not to continue to keep going on. Why? Because you will not understand what you are reading after that. You need to stop, get a dictionary, or Google the word, write it down. Sometimes what I'll do is if I have a word I don't know, I'll Google it or I'll look it up in the Webster's, the Merriam-Webster's, and then I'll actually write that word with the definition in the bottom of my Bible, so that anytime I go back to that word, now it's there, right? And that's me myself. That's how I commit it to memory. All right, so you want to go in, you want to be able to look up these words, you want to be able to search out the definitions, right? Milk. Let me see. You was about to do the show tonight. All right, tune in to Root and Speech. What, tonight at 9? It's on the new channel, right? 10 on the new channel. What's the new channel? It's on Root and Speech Vidcast, right? Tonight, live at 10 p.m. So I had I bought a Quran, right? Yeah. Yeah, I bought a Quran, right? And I thought I was getting the one exactly like the one that we have in here, but it's not. It's Muhammad Yusuf Ali. But nah, you know how that one we have here got the one here has the commentary at the bottom. It don't got the commentary. All right, so we're gonna get a couple words before we get up out of here. We're gonna get um Egypt. Right, we're talking about the law. We showed the video of the Israelites coming out of Egypt, right? It was in the Exodus. So where was we coming from when we got the law? We was coming from a place called Egypt, right? Egypt in the scriptures is called the house of bondage. Egypt spiritually today is America. The computer jumping, Satan on the computer. All right, we'll get a couple more words before we get up out of here, right? All right. One second. Can you see the thing? What's that? This right here? It's not going to cut off the feed, the live, is it? Yeah, it's not doing it. let me find out which one I want to give you. Give me 1 second. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could tell. All right, so freaking Egypt. All right, so we'll go to Genesis. We'll go to 45 and 26. We'll make it easy. We'll go to Genesis 45 and 26, right? For the word Egypt. All right, and then so remember when Joseph was in viceroy of Egypt, that was because his brothers had sold him. Remember, they had put him in a ditch, got him out the ditch, sold him to some, I believe it was Ishmaelites. Ishmaelites sold him into Egypt. And then Genesis 45 and 26 says, so he was in Egypt. The Lord was with him while he was in Egypt, and he was able to interpret dreams. Because he was able to interpret dreams, he rose up to a high position in Egypt, which would have been like second in command, the viceroy of Egypt. Right. Genesis 45 and 26, it says, and told him, saying, Joseph is yet alive, and he is governor over all the land of Egypt. And Jacob's heart fainted, for he believed him not. Remember, the brothers had went down into Egypt to go find food because there was a famine where they was living at. And when they went down there, they was able to they ended up running into Joseph, but they didn't know it was Joseph at first. They didn't know it was Joseph, and Joseph, he recognized them, but he didn't reveal that it was him at first. So, he did a few things and then he revealed himself to him. And then this is the brothers when they're going back to their father, Israel or Jacob, and they're letting Jacob know that, look, he's still alive and he's down there in Egypt and he's governor over all of Egypt. Again, it says Genesis 45 and 26, it says, and told him, saying, Joseph is yet alive, and he is governor over all the land of Egypt. And Jacob's heart fainted, for he believed them not. And the word for Egypt in the Hebrew, right, is Mataza Ra Yum. Ma Taza Ra Yum, right? H4714. This is the word for Egypt or bondage. Right? We are here now. We are in Mataza Ra Yum now. Is it silver? No, I mean yeah. Oh no, yeah. And one thing to know, I guess it really doesn't even matter. Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt is really backwards, right? Upper Egypt is really the bottom of Egypt, and Lower Egypt is really the top. Matazarium, right? Matazarium. Matazarium. Some brothers might say Matazarium. I've heard it both ways, Matazarium. Right? Egypt in Hebrew. It's the proper name of a territory and a people. All right, now, okay, the Egyptians come from a man named Ham, right? Kam in the Hebrew. And those are not the people that live in Egypt today. The people that live in Egypt today are Ishmaelites. All right, the Ishmaelites, the Arabs that live in Egypt today swear that they Egyptian, right? That's what they call themselves, Egyptian. You cannot tell them that they aren't. All right. So we're coming up on the time. So if there's any words that brothers want to go over, that if there's any questions that brothers have that maybe you want, some topics or something that you might want me to go over, some stuff that you want to study. If y'all brothers is troopers and you got the test and you're trying to be an officer, make sure you in here every Friday. Make sure you studying that test. Make sure you practicing. Right? Practice makes perfect. That's the only way that you can perfect your craft. All right. If you need help, get with one of the brothers, get with me, whoever. Right. So you can get some damn help. All right. We'll continue to build on these words. Practice your Lashawan Qadash. I'll see you next week with some more vocabulary words and we'll get it in. With that being said, shalom.